The world tilted when I found the letter, tucked like a guilty secret in the back of her nightstand drawer. My fingers trembled, the paper creasing under my grip, as her familiar cursive confessed a love that wasn't mine. My heart belongs to you always. It read, addressed to a name I didn't know, Elliot. Not me, not James. The bedroom, our sanctuary of whispered promises, suddenly felt like a stage where I'd been playing a fool's part. We'd been married 5 years, Emily and I. 5 years of coffee brewed too strong, her laughter at my terrible puns, and quiet evenings on our porch, her head resting on my shoulder as fireflies blinked in the dusk. I thought our love was a tapestry, woven with trust. But that letter, its ink bleeding with her betrayal, unraveled everything. I stood frozen, the air thick with the scent of her lavender lotion, my pulse hammering like a war drum. Who was Elliot? And why had she kept him from me? The signs were there, I suppose, though I'd painted them over with hope. The late nights she blamed on work, her phone angled just out of my sight, the way her eyes drifted when I spoke of our future. I told myself it was stress. Her law firm was demanding after all. But the letter burned in my hands, its words a blade. You're my forever, Elliot. He's just there. Just there. A placeholder. Expendable. I sank onto the bed, the mattress creaking under my weight, and stared at the framed photo on her nightstand. Us at the beach, her smile wide, my arm around her like I could shield her from the world. The memory felt like a lie now, a cruel script I'd memorized without questioning. My chest ached, a hollow kind of pain, as if my heart had been scooped out and left bleeding on the floor. Dinner was torture. Emily sat across from me, her fork scraping against the plate, the sound grating like my unraveling thoughts. You're quiet tonight, she said, her voice soft, almost tender. Her hazel eyes met mine, and for a moment, I wanted to believe they held love. But the letter's shadow loomed, and I couldn't unsee it. Just tired. I lied, my voice steady despite the storm inside. Long day. I studied her delicate hands, the way she tucked a strand of auburn hair behind her ear. Did she love him the way she'd once loved me? Or had she ever loved me at all? James, she said, leaning forward, her brow furrowing. You'd tell me if something was wrong, right? The question hung between us, heavy with irony. I wanted to scream, to shove the letter in her face and demand answers. But I didn't. I needed to understand before I broke us open. Yeah, I said, forcing a smile. Of course. That night, I couldn't sleep. Her breathing, soft and even beside me, felt like a betrayal in itself. I slipped out of bed, the hardwood cold against my bare feet, and crept to her study. Her laptop glowed in the dark, a silent accomplice. The password, our anniversary, unlocked it easily, a bitter reminder of my trust. Emails to Elliot filled her inbox, each one a dagger. I can't leave him yet, one read. He's too fragile. But soon, I promise. Fragile. The word stung, reducing me to something pitiable, disposable. I dug deeper, my heart racing. Photos of them together. Her smiling at a man with sharp cheekbones and a confident grin. Buried in a hidden folder. A hotel receipt from last month, when she'd claimed a work conference. Each discovery was a brick in a wall of truth I couldn't ignore. She'd built a life without me, and I was just the scenery. The next morning, I confronted her. The kitchen smelled of burnt toast, the air thick with tension. Who's Elliot? I asked, my voice low, the letter trembling in my hand. Her face drained of color, her coffee mug frozen midair. James, she whispered, her eyes darting to the letter. How did you answer me? I said, sharper than I meant. My throat tightened, anger and grief wrestling inside me. She set the mug down, her hands shaking. He's someone I met at work. It's not what you think. But her voice cracked, betraying her. Not what I think. I laughed, bitter and hollow. You wrote him love letters. You called me a placeholder. What am I supposed to think, Emily? Tears welled in her eyes, but I couldn't tell if they were for me or for her unraveling secret. I didn't mean for it to happen, she said. Elliot, he understands me in ways you don't. But I love you, James. I do. Her words were a knife, twisting deeper. You love me. I spat. You kept me like a pet, Emily. A stand-in until you could run off with him. She reached for my hand, But I pulled away. I was scared, she said. You're so good, James. Too good. I didn't want to hurt you. Then why did you? My voice broke, raw and exposed. The room spun, the walls closing in with the weight of her betrayal. She had no answer, only tears. And then the twist, a confession that shattered what was left of me. Elliot's gone, she said, her voice barely a whisper. He left me. Last week. I was going to tell you, but I couldn't face it. I stared at her, the woman I'd loved, now a stranger. She hadn't chosen me. She'd settled for me, her second choice when her first walked away. The realization was a cold, final blow. I wasn't her forever. I was her fallback. I walked out, the letter crumpled in my fist, leaving behind the life I thought was mine. The porch creaked under my steps, the fireflies gone in the morning light. Trust, once shattered, doesn't mend. And I was no one's placeholder anymore.